Greeting my awesome animation students. So it is digital flip book time. Now this is what you've already done. You've already created an analog flip book. We took each frame, each card, and we traced it through the onion skin, and we basically presented it to the class. Classic flip book. Now we're taking that same concept and we're bringing it into animation, okay, through Adobe Animate. So I'm going to show you real quick, and then I'll let you guys go and start on your own. So I'm not going to take you through the entire process. I'm going to show you how to get started. So the first thing you do, follow along with me, is we're going to go ahead and click Animate. All right, Adobe Animate, and it's going to open up. Once we're here, we're going to go really quick. All right, so you may want to come back to this. We got to make sure that you see this full HD. Our end result's going to be a video, so we want to make sure that we are focused on full HD. All right, so here is our screen. All right, and it's our stage. All right, so those of you who are wondering what the stage was, the stage is exactly like the staging of a theater. It's what is shown in between the two curtains. So everything outside the stage is not shown. So right here, what you really want to do is you want to click this bar up here, and you want to go to 50%. That way you can see things off stage, because you're going to need the off stage, just like in theater, hiding in the wings, which is what we call the edge areas, right? And people come on the screen and then off the screen, and so on and so forth. So once we do that, we're here and we're right about to start. We're going to come over here to the stage, right? And we can pick any color we want in the stage, right? So if we want the stage to be a light gray, it'll be a light gray. You can pick it right here in this area. But right below the color part, there is FPS, frames per second. And by default, it's 30. But for this project, we are going to do 8 frames per second. All right? And the reason we're doing that is because it affects the speed of your animations. And I don't want it to go too fast, because it's 8 frames per second, and we are going to do 64, count them, 64, 6 and a 4 frames for this project. And those of you who are saying, oh my gosh, that's a lot of work, you have some tools in Animate that you didn't have when you were doing it analog style. One of the big ones is copy and paste. So you may utilize that, and among other things, wink wink, if you paid attention to the videos, especially C and D, I showed you how to do this magic thing called tweening. If you were watching that, 64 frames is going to be nothing. All right, you'll get through with it quickly, and I give you enough time in class to do it. Let's get started real quick. So now we have this scene. Now what we're going to do, and I'm going to do this real quick, is I want to create a background. So here on this layer here, I'm going to call it the background layer. All right. Right. And then it says special characters are not permitted. The special characters it's talking about, if you look right between background layer, there's a space. For some reason, when you're renaming layers, there can be no spaces, so it's going to replace it with an underscore. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click that. And you see now it replaced it with an underscore. All right, so that's my background layer. And just like it in Illustrator, I'm going to use the rectangle tool to color my background. And I'm going to have the fill here. I'm going to select it first. The fill, again, in our tools panel, there's not a lot to mess with here. I'm going to make that green, like a green grass. And then I'm going to grab another one of these tools. Or actually, you know what? Let me undo this. I'm going to choose a different color. Sky blue, a little light blue for the sky, right? And so I'm going to make sure that I am overdoing it. Notice that there's a black line inside, and I am basically pasting the color outside of that line. The only thing you're going to see in your animation is whatever's inside that box on the stage. Whatever you create outside the box is going to not be shown. So it's better to go over bleed. That's a term in not only animation, but it's also in printing, to go overboard, because we're not going to see all the stuff on the outside. Okay. Now that we have the background done, I'm going to lock it. So now I can't And here's, and you can't really see it. If you hover over, you're gonna see like a little transparent. Just click on it. And now you cannot affect the background. The background essentially is locked. Okay, so there's nothing you can do here. And I'm going to create a running man from here, running all the way across the stage. All right, and so I'm going to do that first by coming over here and choosing the brush tool, classic brush tool, and the size I'm going to create. And again, you could do it however you want to do it. I'm going to choose 60 or around 60, it was 62. And I'm just going to put one dot right here. Boom. Oop. Oh, the background is locked. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add a new layer for the running man. Always make a new layer for every single element that you're going to be creating. All right. But before I do that, I'm going to go up here, File, and I'm going to save. Okay. And when I save it, I want you to save it in, yours is going to be animation. I'm going to save mine under the animation, right? And you can save it right there, wherever it's at. But I want you to call it, okay, Digital Flip Book. Digital Flip Book. And then hit save. Boom. And there it is. We're saved. And I'm going to make some space here. I'm going to basically pull this out and maximize my screen. So I have all of this area to play with. Okay. So I got to create a new layer, right? That's where I was at. And I'm going to call this Running Man. Running, remember, underscore man, or it's going to give you an error if you just do that, but now it'll correct it. So there's my Running Man guy. So now I've chosen my brush as a refresh. Brush, right here. And I'm going to go back to tool here. So here's the size, the brush, the color. Let's do the black, right? Because that's going to be my head, right? And as I want you to take a look at that little dot. If I make it really big, right? That's the size of the head of the Running Man. So I just put a dot, and that's the Running Man head, right? And because it's gonna be stick figures. That's how I'm gonna do it right now. Is those of you who don't know how to draw or don't have the practice to draw, you can possibly do this at an easier time. So you're gonna grab it, and then I'm gonna use the line tool. Oh, that's really too skinny. I'm basically gonna make the line tool. What I chose right now. I'm gonna go up to about 30. Okay, and I'm gonna create a line, bring it down. Okay, then I'm going to get the same line. I'm gonna let go, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make the thigh, and then the calf, and then the foot. And then on this one, I'm gonna basically bring it down as an angle, right? Thigh, calf, foot. Then his arms, right? Which one? Gotta let it go. Boom. There. That's the first person that I drew. And guess what? It already put it on my first layer, right? My first frame. Your first card. Remember, each one of these frames, it's analogous to the card, right? Basically, it's a line. So consider that. So I want to go to the next card or the next frame. But before I do that, I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to insert blank keyframe. Boom. Oh my gosh. Everything disappeared. What happened? What happened is, if you notice, there's no information in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock this background here, and I'm going to bring this line all the way down, all the way across. What did I say? 64. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to do this magic trick. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to insert keyframe. And what that's going to do, it's going to copy everything from the first frame, the first card, all the way to 64. It's going to copy the exact same thing. So I insert the keyframe, boom. Now guess what? Lock that up. Now I have from 0 or from 1 to 64, it copied the background. So now my background goes through the whole thing. But guess what? My Running Man is in frame 1, but in frame 2, he disappears. Huh. What to do? Well, I'll tell you what to do. All right, the first thing we need to do, okay, I've already inserted a blank keyframe, insert blank keyframe. Oops, I'm gonna do that. I had already done that. And here, you're gonna notice right here where it says onion skin. And right now, if you hold it down, it says selected range. That's what we want, selected range. So guess what? I click that, and here, there's a blue line and a yellow line. That is the range. That's how much onion skin you can see underneath. I only want to see the card right before it, just like your Flipbook. So what we're going to do is we're gonna hover around the yellow bar right here until we see that line, and then we're gonna bring it back right till there's only two. So this, it's in blue, it's in light blue because that's the onion skin, right? If you go back, boom, it's that little running man, right? So here, now I can draw. So I'll go back to my brush, classic brush tool, and it should be already set. What do I have it at? The head. Oh, it's too big. 63, 64. I forgot what we put. 65. I don't know. Boom. Oh, it's too small. I guess I did have it at the right size. 107 maybe. All right, it's like that looks close, right? And then I'll go ahead and grab the line tool and start making the body one more time. But wait, there's an easier way to do this, right? Let me undo this. What did I tell you that we had? We had a little trick, right? Something you can't do before. I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna hit our selection tool. Yes, you know what's coming. I'm gonna select the entire thing. I'm gonna hit Command C for copy. I'm gonna move over to my blank keyframe and I'm gonna hit Command V. Boom. So now I don't have to mess with it, but I'm gonna drag it over here on my onion skin, and I'm basically going to start adjust. Now I can have the same exact proportions. Now I can animate a little bit. Click that, hold down Shift, click this, the thigh, the calf, and the foot, and now I can move it, right? But see how it doesn't give me options? Right click, and then you're going to basically go to transform, free transform, and now it gives you the little turn. So now I can turn his leg. So he's here. He's going to come back a little bit. Now I'm going to select foot, calf. Let me select this. Hold on. See how it's hard for me to click on it? There's a better way. Let's go ahead and zoom into 200, because that way I can actually get real close and hold down Shift. And now I can click all the pieces. Maybe go higher. Yeah, maybe go higher. Maybe he's booking it. All right, that's old school talk for he's really tearing it up. And then I'm coming back. Right. And again, then you just go ahead, then you'll copy the whole thing. All right. Copy. Go to the next frame. Okay. And then you will hit, oh, sorry. Insert keyframe, insert blank keyframe. Or else there is nothing to, that blank keyframe is basically, it's a brand new blank white card. If you don't pull out, if you don't place a blank keyframe, it's like if you don't have one of those cards, right? You don't have a blank card. You have to insert a blank card, blank keyframe. Okay, keep that in mind. Now I can right click and I can paste. Oh, where am I at? Oh, sorry. I'll copy this. Move that over, select that, and paste in place. Boom. And I'll move it over. But you see, I see 3 shadows. That's because, remember I said the range back here? So you're going to hover over till you see the blue line, and you'll bring that in, so that way you can only see the frame before it. Because you don't want to, I mean, you could basically see all the previous frames, and it'll get lighter and lighter. If you want to do that, I'll let you do that. Play with it as much as you want. And again, I'll start adjusting things here. All right. I'm not going to adjust this quite yet. I'm going to show you. I don't want to have you here and basically do all of this for I want you to get to work on it. I don't want you to see me do all the work. Those of us who cannot draw, right? Because you're going to have 3 elements. The little running man is one element. You can have moving clouds. Oops, sorry. Light turn off. Moving clouds can be the second element, and then the third element can be whatever you want. Maybe a kite flying or an airplane. And if you don't want to draw, if you're having problems with drawing, you could always bring in, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to lock this layer and I'll make a new layer, right? And I'm going to write down the layer. I'm going to call it rocket. And you can go online and you can get some clip art, or you can export stuff that you've already drawn in Illustrator and bring that into animation so we can animate it. But it's got to have a transparent background, all right? Or else the whole onion skin will not work. So when you Google, make sure that you always write the word transparent. So basically, palm tree transparent. So the background, right? The background, it'll just give you the palm tree and the background will be empty. Now, some of it will give you this checkered stuff, so you're going to have to experiment. You may fall in love with one perfect palm tree, but it doesn't matter. If it doesn't have transparent, you can't use it. Keep that in mind, right? I found a rocket ship online, so I'm going to bring that in, and there it is, and it's in my rocket layer, right? If I wanted to take out the running man so it doesn't bother me, I'll take out the eyes right there, right? And here's my rocket ship. And again, it's transparent background, so all it is a rocket ship. So now what we can do, we can basically use the clip art, right? 'Cause it's basically a rocket ship clip art that's transparent. And we can animate this. Remember, we are on the animation portion of the class. So that means all I want you to do is animate. Using layers, using frames, frame by frame animate. I'm not requiring you to draw every single thing. I would like for you to attempt to draw a stick figure at the minimum. Do it on your own if you feel like you want to hand draw everything. Again, this is really an exercise on practicing on making a digital flipbook. So obviously, I'm going to be using a rocket here. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to select all of these because I'm just going to leave it here actually. Where's my... Let me bring this down. So I'll select all of these. I'll have to bring it in again because I messed up. So I'm going to go ahead and delete. Oh, select all frames. Where's the delete? I guess I can, well, maybe I can hit the delete key. No. So I'm going to clear all frames. And then maybe I can delete it afterwards. Oh, remove frames. I got you. There's no delete. It's remove frames. Changed it on me. So all those frames are removed. The first frame, insert keyframe, boom. And that's where I'm going to drop in my little rocket. Replace existing items. Boom. So now there's my little rocket. Now the same procedure. Go to this one. Go to the next card, the next frame. And insert blank keyframe, a blank card. And there, look, my onion skin already made it. Go back to the original one, hit Command C, go to the next one, Command V, and then it's launching, so I'll be placing it up. And you can put fire, and you can kind of make it launch and do everything you want it to launch. I'll show you what it looks like on this screen here, right? 50%. I already have like a little experiment going on here. So you can see where this little guy ran, right? And you can see how the frames per second work. So there's my animation. So I want you to notice a couple things. Here, I turned it as it was flying away, and then I made it smaller. So it looks like it was falling away, and see how it's shrinking? Okay? Look how tiny it looks now. So that's how you give the illusion of distance, is when you shrink it. See? And it flies away. All right, that's kind of the end of that one. I was playing around because I like to play around in Animate. It's fun. All right, so again, the way that you do that is you can go to transform and you can free transform, or you can go to scale. Scale will allow you to grab a corner and make it small or large. You go ahead and play with the transform, play with the arrange, play with the align. But this is it. I'm leaving you here, everyone. This is it. It's really short. Play with it. Remember, 64 frames is what you need to get to. With copy and paste and the tools that I've given you, you should have no problems. And if you guys want to sneak in some tweens, go ahead. You need 3 elements. I showed you 2. You need 3 of them. I'll be around. Remember this, you have multiple days to do this. This is Mr. Juarez signing out. Last thing before I go, Command S, hit save often. You don't want to repeat all of your steps. And we'll see you in the next one. This is Mr. Juarez, over and out. Bye.